Okay. Yeah, this room is gonna be really echoey. It's kind of empty. I figured I'd call this video "Taking Apart a Bed." I'm bored. I'm bored. And so since I'm bored, because I was gonna do a big bag Sunday, and then I was too lazy. I'm like, I want to play Deadlock, so I've been streaming Deadlock, but I have a task to do, and since this task is kind of boring and monotonous, I got like 80% of it done anyway. I take apart 2 beds, but this is just disgusting. I hate stripped screws. I hate everything about it. I think this Allen key is starting to get stripped. Some of the screws are stripped. Life sucks, but it is what it is. Some things have to break off. But yeah, I mean, I guess there are a couple things I want to talk about. First, Deadlock, so good right now, ranked. And this is one thing I was talking about to one of my chatters. I was like, yo, Deadlock. They asked me, yo, do you like Deadlock? I bitch a lot. I love Deadlock, and I think there's something about passion for something. When you have passion for something, you can bitch. I think bitching is like, it's just a part of the process, right? Like, if I'm bitching at something, it's because I care. But and if you're bitching about something, it's like, you know. But I think the moment you stop bitching about something is when you stop caring, right? I mean, I think about like world events, right? Hey, what happened to our water crisis? People stop bitching about that, you know. People stop bitching about Lakari. Guess what? He's able to play Deadlock. Oh my gosh. You know, but I heard something funny about that. They're like, would you want Lakari streaming or putting his cum in your fucking Big Mac? So I don't know. But this task is like, it's tedious, it's boring. This room is terrible. I hate carpet. And this room is just carpet. It's old carpet. And it's stuffy in here. I probably should have put a fan in here, but we'll tank it. I'm only in here for a little bit longer. But yeah, I think the main thing I was gonna do was have these notes written. I think next week is gonna be me talking about like ads and sponsorships and stuff like that, and how they're stupid and annoying, and like 80% of them are fake. That's like next week. But this week, on my life, we're gonna talk about because I saw this video of Super Tia and Liam, and it was one of the funniest things ever. Because basically, this guy's RPing or something, but basically, Liam is talking about a lot of his life or something, and I think they're normal, awkward things. And he was talking about how he has a gym crush, and he's like, yeah, you know, I noticed your schedule and everything, and stuff like that. I figured I'd talk about the gym crush scenario because it's something relatable and it's something funny, right? So, the screw stripped. I can't. It's stripped. It's over. But basically, Liam is a streamer, and they're playing this game. It's actually a really cool game. I forgot what it's called. And they have they basically have like a podcast. So I just put it on when I was on my drive. Because they're just yapping. And this little gym arc is really funny because he's like, yeah, you know, I've been going to the gym recently. He's talking about being performative and stuff. And you just don't know if this is real, first of all. And like the chat's like, he's pretending to be human. But this little like gym crush scenario, I think resonates. Because I used to have a work crush a lot. And I think a lot of it resonated. Where it's like, he's like, yeah, you know, I kind of like know her schedule. And when you're familiar with someone, even if like you don't live with them or anything, and there's someone that's like adjacent to your life, you kind of just learn their like habits. And so that's essentially what happened with him. He's like noticing, hey, every time I come here on Tuesday at 5 p.m., she's here. He's like, yeah, you know, I basically have her scheduled down. You know, she's gonna be there today. And then he's talking about like, oh yeah, you know, I'm scared. And he called this chick Futaba. I think one of the funniest things is when you don't know someone's name, but you're like interested in them, and you just give them some random fucking nickname. And it's like something that's like adjacent to them. I think it's super funny. Because like, hey, well, you know, I don't know this person's name, but this is the vibe they give me, so that's their name. And then, what else was it? He's like, it's just super funny. A big thing that I've learned, especially when dating, is like, don't let your limerence kind of take it over, right? Especially with me, I've learned, we kind of put our ideals and stuff and our personified beliefs that we experience, and we kind of compartmentalize and place them on other people. So one big thing is like, he's like, oh yeah, you know, yeah, she probably likes this person, she probably likes this person. In reality, when you don't know someone, you can't ever give an entirely factual statement on any of those things about this person. Oh, I can't take that apart. You can't, because you don't know this person. So he's like, oh yeah, you know, she's like this, and it's funny. But I think that's one thing that we, especially if you're someone that's like just looking for someone, everyone has their own shared experience, and we like to put a lot of traits on a people's appearance, and then we tend to, it's like a survival thing, right? And it's just like we like to try to predict things, or like classify people in certain groups, and then after we've classified them in groups, it feels like we make our interactions more predictable, so they're more safe. So this guy's talking about his gym crush, but like, I think a simple example is like, you know, I think the meta right now is like goth girls. And so so if you're talking to someone, you're like, oh yeah, they're a goth girl, right? You're gonna personify those things. Okay, she probably doesn't have a father. Okay, she's probably mean. She's probably stuck up. This, and this. And when we personify these traits onto people, we kind of, in a sense, we kind of dehumanize them. But I don't think that really matters because it's just like your perceived image of a person. But then we lend ourselves to disbelief when that person isn't that idealized version of them. Oh my gosh, she's a goth girl, but she won't step on my neck. You know, like stuff like that. It's like, I thought all goth girls did that. And then the person's like, oh no, I just like putting on the makeup. And then you have this completely different perceived reality of someone. You know, even something as simple as, oh, this person shakes hands with the cashier. Oh, they're so nice. And then they can end up being the fakest person alive. They're only doing that to maintain their perceived image or something. There's a lot of scenarios like that where we're able to misrepresent events in our head because it's limerence and it's an idealized thing that we want. It's something that we want this person to be. Oh, because this person's attractive, we believe they have to work this way. And I think it's a big thing that we do. And as much as I hate it, when people are like, oh, just talk to the person, in reality, you will never be able to truly guess how someone works or think about how someone is. Like, you cannot map someone out just by looking at them. Because I think I said this before, we all have different shared and lived experiences. And those kind of shape us. And because we appear to be a certain way, it doesn't mean our lived experiences kind of created us to be that. And especially with the gym, it's like, okay, obviously someone is trying to better themselves. Are they bettering themselves to hate someone, you know? And it's something that we all kind of do where, okay, this person's doing this. They're a nice person. And I feel like it's not a bad thing, right? Because like I said, I believe it's like probably like an evolutionary trait. Like I think back in the olden days, I feel like it's a lot more prevalent because it would be kind of in a sense, you know how like we all determine our self-worth, and so there's like this small term of classism now, right? And that part of trying to identify someone. I think it's like more of a male thing, I feel. But it's like our male sense of trying to value if this person is like fit for us. It's our like little classification system. I think it's definitely not a bad thing, for sure. But it's something that we often tend to overvalue as people. And so I think a lot of us need to not. And it's like, oh, it's so easy to say, let's not assume things based off of people and what they do in minute by minute actions, especially because a minute doesn't determine your life. A big thing that I believe is your current situation is your final destination. It's something that's keeps me pumping, I guess, right? Hey, if you're currently here, that's not what you're going to be doing in the future. So, it's definitely something I resonate with a lot. For sure. For sure. And yeah, I think the big thing is when we're doing these analyzations, then we tend to pedestal a person. And when we do that, we make them less attainable in our own eyes. And I feel extremely mentally unhealthy. And then that's where you start to get into obsessive behaviors, I feel, for most people. But I don't think it's the end of the world to have a crush and kind of try to do these assumptions to try to make yourself closer. But if you're doing these assumptions and they're pushing you away from doing the thing that you ideally want to do, I think it's a bad habit. I do. And at the end of the day, if you really like someone, if there are no barriers, you should talk to them. But I also think the big thing about love that people don't realize, and something I didn't realize, is it's work. You have to deal with bullshit. And I think the biggest thing about love and like a relationship is you have to be willing to compromise. And in certain times of your life, you're just not willing to compromise. And I think that's something that, especially me now, it's like, okay, yeah, I would never probably, unless I was like lonely, I don't know, I would never do that, because I kind of, shit, I want someone that's turning 6 in deadlock, because I'm just addicted to the game, but that's my qualifying matter. But for me, I think a big thing about people now is probably just more like interpersonal relationship or friendship. Just talking to someone for 5 seconds is more important to me. Oh, you're on the train. Oh, you're at the grocery store. Hey, what's going on? Hey, pass me the paprika. Oh, you're using this seasoning? Is this good? Stuff like that. Little conversations like that make your days so much better and stuff. And I think these little interactions are something we've kind of missed out on. And something that made my day better. I was at the grocery store the other day, and well, I think this was just like a different thing, but this was like a month or two ago. I was getting my soda on sale because I love my 0 sugar soda, and I literally just go to get 3 cases of soda. I'm in the self-checkout. The self-checkout, there's like 20 people, and people have like 50 items. I hate it, but hey, you go, and I'm going to get my soda, and it sucks. It sucks in this line. And the manager's like, oh yeah, just go to the help desk. We got you. I'm like, thank you. Because I'm just there with my cart. My cart has literally 3 sodas in it. I'm like, dude, I can get in and out of here. I don't know how some people suck at self-checkout. I believe the automation is fucked over self-checkout too. Like, dude, how much, like AI scanners, it's like, okay, if I'm buying 3 bags of chicken nuggets, okay, and I scan the bag of chicken nuggets, and then I grab the other one in my cart to put as the weight so I can scan the other one, I shouldn't get a red flag for that. I shouldn't. And especially with this AI stuff, like, dude, this automation, it's really bad. It's like, oh, you're a thief, and it's like, no, man, I was literally trying to make my job easier. I was trying to grab a Sprite and put it inside the container, trying to grab my chicken nuggets, put it in the other thing. And I think it's super funny. Yeah, but like these minute-to-minute conversations and experiences with people, I kind of value more than a long-term relationship. Because I feel like in a relationship, you learn someone's habits, and you can't idealize a person's habits. You could talk to someone, but then the moment you live with someone, it is entirely different. Hey, they don't wipe their poop off the toilet seat, even though you remind them for the 20th time. And that ends up building resentment. Hey, this person was the perfect girl. Or like, a lot of times guys will date girls, and the guy's a minimalist, and then the girl's like a Hello Kitty girl, right? Hey, that's another classification. And they just have a whole bunch of stuffed animals and dolls and clutter and their rocks and stuff. And it's like, okay, the guy is like this, and the girl's like this. Someone that likes a lot of trinkets and stuff, so they have a lot of clutter. And it's like, you can't idealize a person's level of clutter when you look at them in the gym. I can't look at a girl and be like, yeah, you know, this chick has no clutter. No clutter. Or like you talk to someone and it's like, okay, I only like name brand food. It's like, okay, we cannot get along. If you're not willing to buy the same food that's on sale, how can I live with you for 5 years if you're wasting $50 a week on food that's not on sale? And it's the same thing, you know? And we can't, like predict these things from people when we're doing our little mind matching or whatever I want to call it. Like, you can't. And so, sorry, I'm just really locked in on this screw. It's kind of stripped. Well, I think it's bent, it's warped. That's my problem. But we can't do anything about these scenarios. Because it's like, oh yeah, we thought about this, but you can't think about these things. And especially the younger you are, or the older you are, you have different values. And you can't find these values in a person without talking to them. So even if someone is like, they're perceived out of your value, maybe they're not, because you have these same life traits that make you compatible with a person. And you would never know that, even if you didn't. Right? Even if you did your little mental analysis, oh, she has a, what is that shit, like a Cartier bracelet. Oh, she's out of my league. She's probably expensive. And then it's like, oh, it was just a gift from like her aunt or something. This is really, you know? So, definitely, yo, this is not gonna work out. This just has to go out together. That's crazy. That is crazy. So, you know, I guess I kind of ended off. I'm almost done here. Yeah, I mean, if you're having a gym relationship or something you don't like, even though it sounds easier than it is, and I mean, if it's someone that you're at the gym or something where it's like, okay, there are repercussions, I may have to go to another gym. I mean, I guess just have that planned out, right? But if there's no like long-term repercussions or you see someone, there's no point in not striking up a conversation and just trying to get to know someone. A lot of us like to demonize it But if you're talking to someone and they pull out their phone and they go on to TikTok, like, I mean, you've already classified the person. Okay, they don't like me. But I guess another big problem is that guys don't know when to stop pursuing. I guess that's one thing I can talk about. For me, that's personally never been a problem. If there's something that's disinterested me in a person, I'll just be like, alright, GG, go next. It's like, okay, this is unfixable. I think one thing was with my ex, I was like, oh, you're a bad communicator. I can't deal with this when I left her. And then I was kind of lonely one day, and I went back on IG and I was like, oh, what's her name? Maybe her name is her IG. Of course it is. And so I find her, and then, I try to talk to her again. And it's like, well, I really like you, but you just don't communicate well. There are a lot of other things. And I feel like you can go out and trade off traits or something. Because, relationships about compromise. And so I was like, okay, if she can just learn how to communicate in a style that I feel works, we can make this work out. And it's like, nope. No, you can't do that with some people. And so it's something you kind of learn. Hey, if you're talking to someone and they don't respect your values or anything, or they're not, where you just cut it off. Especially watching Caleb Hammer, I think that has resonated with me more rather than thugging it out. Because once you become financially tied to someone, I think that's when things are cooked. The moment you have a lease with someone, you have to live with someone, and then they have poop stains on the toilet, you're kind of cooked. And the moment you have a lease with someone, and you can't leave, it's GG, man. It's GG. Just type it. So, I will say, I think that's something you just gotta look out for. It's something long term that everyone should do. Especially when people are like, oh, I idealize this person. Oh my gosh, the streamer, this person. And then they find out the person's like a terrorist. Like, okay, not a real, but like a mental terrorist. Like, These are things that you just have to learn as a person. So, and anyway, while I'm wrapping this up, yeah. There's no Big Back Sunday. I kind of don't want to eat out this week. A lot of food I want to make. Not at home. I'm just too lazy to go out this week, guys. Because I just want to play. I want to be able to get hit this week on the road. Yeah. But, bye bye.